Ooby-doo, it's everyone's favorite boomer and vintage lens enthusiast. I'm also a vintage point and shoot enthusiast. Today we're going to look at the Canon PowerShot G7X Mark II. It's got a horrible flip screen, reminiscent of other companies who I won't mention, although I guess you could flip it up to do selfies. It's a full touchscreen too. Let's turn this bad boy on. It has a Canon zoom lens, 4.2x, image stabilization, 8.8 to 36.8. Check this out. f1.8 to f2.8. It's very powerful, good for low light level. This has a 1-inch chip in it. It takes excellent pictures. Excellent pictures. Lack of buttons you see because a lot of stuff you do. Well, let's just look at that. Suppose I want to change the ISO. You just tap ISO, then you can do that. See, that's cool. F9. There's a dial here. I have that set for aperture. See, it goes from wide open to F11. How's that? That's pretty cool too, huh? And then info, you can change the information on the screen. There's a built-in level. That's pretty cool. I use that on occasion. I always have the grid up, although in wide-angle shots with distortion, I don't know if it's helpful or not. Right before that, yeah. All right, so this is usually what I like. It has a pretty good menu with all sorts of cool stuff in it. You can put your own copyright logo on anything. Eco power mode, power saving, time zone, date time, create a folder daily. Every time you turn it on, it creates a folder, which is good. There's a movie mode. Oh, the reason I bought this camera brand new, and I hate myself for doing it, was because it had a built-in time-lapse mode. You could do full HD, 1920 by 1080, time-lapse movies with adjusting. Well, let's, here, I'll show you what I want to go into movie mode. Okay, let's go into movie mode. Okay, it says standard, right? What's standard? Change zoom magnification. Movie mode, set the movie mode. What's that? Short clip, manual, time-lapse. I guess you gotta go into menu, find that movie mode. Where was that movie mode? Oh, time-lapse movie mode settings. 1 second, 900 shots, and it tells you the time required and the playback time. So it takes 15 minutes to do 30 seconds. Pretty cool, huh? I've used that quite extensively and it works really, really good. Really good. This is a nice camera. You can still get them used. I think they're up to a Mark III or IV already. There's the original PowerShot G7X. I bought the Mark II. And I'm sure they have some other irradiation. It's a nicely made camera. I've took a lot of pictures with it. It takes excellent pictures when you want to go somewhere, but you want to bring your fancy schmancy cameras if you want to be salvage, say, discreet. You know what I'm saying? So pick one of these bad boys up, use if you can. Although they're holding their value really well. I think it was like $500 or $600, and they're still in the hundreds of dollars range. So people still want them. There's a high demand for them. But it's an excellent picture. Back in 2021, on the second day of the new year, me and the GF at the time went over to the city late in the in the afternoon. Of course, in January, 3 o'clock is late in the afternoon, and we hung out for a while. We went downtown by the Oculus, and then we went back home. We take the ferry over, and the ferry has their own jitney that's included in the price. So I could highly recommend that as a way to kill afternoon. But no matter what I say, is the best thing to do is to look at this slideshow that follows and you'll see the quality of this thing. Canon nailed this out of the park. I spent a lot of money, but I was so happy with this camera. So happy with this camera. And it takes high definition pictures, high resolution, could crop the light, living daylights out of them, although it seems to have a lot of distortion. But I mean, if you're at the wide angle lens of anything and you're looking up a building, the buildings are only going to always look like they're going to, meet at infinity. There's no getting around that. But otherwise, it's an excellent camera. I could highly recommend this. I don't like this though. Although it's good if you want to do a selfies or a podcast or something. But I seldom use it. Excellent camera. Gotta go get one. You must get one. I had to run out and buy the Canon G7X Mark II, 20 megapixel point and shoot with a metal chassis. I went out and bought it in 2016 for $700. Wow, I must have been nuts. So what do you think? I'm looking at the prices today. The prices today vary from $800 to almost $1,200 for a camera from 2016. Wow, scary. But it's a great camera. It takes great pictures. Canon outdid themselves on this camera. It takes beautiful, clean pictures. You could use it at 1600 ISO, no problem. It has a fast lens, f1.8 to 2.8, 4x zoom. Man, it's a great camera. So me and a girlfriend went over to the city. It's like a habit we had, this routine, where we would go on photo expeditions in the city. And, this happened in 2021. I bought the camera in 2016, but we went in 2021. We take the ferry over, hop on your jitney, go downtown, hack around the Oculus, walk uptown. Maybe if we get tired, we take a bus the rest of the way back, or you can pick up the jitney as long as you're on the route. And that's included in the price. You show them your ticket, and they take you back to the ferry, and then we come back. Although this New York City's been sort of scaring me lately with all the random acts of violence, and I don't know. With all the newcomers, I'm just afraid to go there. I'm an old boomer, so I stay out of the city. But it's a good thing I went all these times. I got all these photos in the can, so to speak. And I'm putting them out here for you because they're historical in a way. I'm doing this in 2025, so they're already 4 years old. Some of the buildings you've seen have already been finished, and maybe they started other ones, and they're always changing things in the city. And the city is always changing. But the Canon G7X Mark II is a great camera. All right, maybe you got your high-tech gear and it's all fancy schmancy, and let's face it, some of it weighs a ton, or you don't want to bother changing lenses or thinking about your photography, so you take this instead. I would like to remark that you could get one for half the price of the issue price, but it looks like they're retained their value and more. So I don't know what to say, but look at these pictures. These are great pictures. This is all downtown by the Freedom Tower. This is the Oculus. They have it decorated for Christmas. And New Year's is like then it goes back to normal after New Year's Day. But it's just a cool place to hang out. Winter, spring, summer, fall, we always used to hop on the jitney, go downtown, and it would drop you right off at the Oculus, like 1 block away. And then you could roam around downtown Financial District, come back, pick up the jitney, and go back to the ferry to New Jersey. And it always helps to have a girlfriend that's halfway between here and there. Like where I live, it was like almost an hour to get to her house. And then, with congestion and everything, it's like a 40-minute ride to get to the ferry. So, you could always make a pit stop at your girlfriend's house before you go on your way. And on the way back, if you're lucky, you sleep over, and all that implies. But, then New York is like this trippy town. Well, as I always complain about how people live next to the Himalayas, or the Great Canyon Rift, or they go see the penguins in Antarctica. But I could, on a whim, go over to New York City and look at all the people who come to New York City. Millions of people in the past 4 years have come to New York City, all those newcomers, because I guess it has some sort of magnetic attraction. But I don't have to risk life and limb, although you have to a little bit to get to the city, and hope you don't get toll-chucked or knifed by someone who's insane or a thug or something. But, you know, I'm close to this. I can see it whenever I want. Other people, maybe it's a once-in-a-lifetime trip, or, oh, they got to go there in business, or you're an immigrant and you want to sneak in, and then you see the seedy and grungy side of New York City, which I sort of try and stay away from. I mean, that's just the facts of life. And, you know, a lot of cool things happen in the city. But I'm still glad I don't live in the city. I'm glad I'm like 35 miles northwest of the city. So if I had a jetpack or a gyrocopter or a flying car, I could get there in 15 minutes. But, you know, since I'm stuck with ground transportation and I got to use my own personal car instead of taking a bus or train in, and believe me, I've done it before. And, you know, it adds like an extra hour to your commute. And that's just the way it is in New York City. And now they have congestion pricing and all that weird shit. So it's still becoming a nightmare to go to the city. But like I said, I made a lot of trips to the city with my girlfriend at the time. We had a lot of good times and kept each other company, and all those fond memories. But as Rick said, we'll always have Paris. Well, I'll always have New York City. You know, and there's just, you know, people milling around. You can always do street scenes, architecture, seasonal stuff happens all the time. So, you know, when Rudy Giuliani and Bloomy Bloomberg were mayor, I always felt safe in the city. There's a gaggle of cops in every corner. You know, you don't have to worry about the bad guys bashing your brains in for $50 or something. And now I just don't know, you know. I know people, oh, I went to the city and nothing happened and blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, sure. But I'm boycotting the city for some reason. There's a lot of other places that I go to instead that are, they're quaint. The city is in your face. It's big, it's bright, it's noisy. But, you know, I also like the quaint. And, oh, this is in 2021. And that was like sort of when COVID was around and it just wasn't so crowded. Which is maybe was a good thing, but there are other issues. So, you know, now there's a little movie following this slideshow just to show off that it's time-lapse feature. And what's really cool is I did a time-lapse feature of these clouds at night. The moon was out, and that's how we were lit up. But also, you can see the stars. This is a fantastic camera. I gotta say, you gotta go get one. Get one of these. It's fantastic. Yeah, here's the stars. There's the stars. That's probably Jupiter or something. And here's this is 30-second long. I forget what the settings were. You can see airplanes flying by. They look like UFOs. And it's lit up by the moon. That's why it was so bright. Although I live so close to New York City, I get some pretty heavy-duty sky glow. And it's a really great camera with a lot of features. I mean, it'd be hard to outgrow it. And the fact that it costs more than it was issued is amazing. Gotta go get one.